That was like a rebirth for me. And from there on, I got into this field. uh, you started with the basic thing, no, just the healing part of it, and then got more intrigued. So I trained as a regressionist and a hypnotherapist uh, under Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi. And from there on, my journey started getting more deeper and deeper and trying to understand things. But the first shock or the upliftment in my life I got was from my first Shivero itself, for the meditation when I went. And I could see that I could communicate uh, with souls and guides. And this was how I could help other people. But my masters had advised me not to take it up as a profession or as a career, and just concentrate on myself. So it went on for a long time. And since 2016, I basically started taking up consultancy and trying to coach uh, or mentor other coaches, and help other people get ahead in life, get past, or download the messages of their guides and their coaches and their souls. So very intriguing. And recently I started writing a book about Buddha. So whatever is coming to me, I'm jotting it down. And hopefully soon, by the beginning of next year, it should be published. And yes, you can learn more from there. Every one of us can learn more from there. So first of all, thank you everyone for the wonderful uh, acknowledgement of my last talk. And that is how we decided to have this second part of Life Before Life. And in my last talk, what one major chapter we had left, we are going to talk about that today. So we had left out the major chapter of the couples, the relationships between marriage, between boyfriend, girlfriend, live-in relationship, whatever you may call it, but between couples. Okay. So what happens? How do we decide when we are up there, when we are just a spark of light? How do we decide who's going to be my soulmate, or who's going to be uh, my marriage partner, who's going to be my spouse in this life? Because it is a very big decision, because of a lot of reasons: inheritance, my ancestral charts, and everything works according to that. So when I'm up there, how do I decide who's going to be my life partner in my present life? So for to explain this very easily, let's go back to a lot of years behind, in the land of Japan, where there are two samurai warriors standing in front of each other, and it's a duel between them. And they draw up their swords, and they are fighting each other. Now each one of them knows that if I do not perform more than 110% of what I am capable of, the person in front of me, my enemy, okay, remember, my enemy in front of me is going to kill me. So to save myself, I have to bring out all the knowledge I have collected over the years, all the practice I have done over the years, and everything I have got, I have to give it now, today, in this moment. So it brings out 110% out of me. Okay. So this is what happens in life. When I'm choosing my partner for my this birth, I choose my best or the worst enemy, whichever way you want to take it. My best enemy, I call it, because this enemy helped me to bring out 110% out of me. Okay, so all those years of practice, all those years of sacrifice, all that going through the grueling physical stress and strain, he helped me take out my 110% in that one duel. So imagine if this person is born as my partner in my present life, how much better it would be for me. I will automatically be trying to give my 110%. So this is how we choose my life partner. This is how I choose my life partner in my current life. One who helps me take out my 110% out of me. That is the reason there is no household or no couple or no marriage where there are not difference of opinions, where there are no discussions, there are no fights, there are no disagreements. Why? Because each one of us is pushing the other one to take out the 110% out of me. Each one of us, in their manner, in their understanding, and in their way, is trying to get 110% out of the other person. Now, we will say, oh, enemies, they can betray us, they can do this, they can do that. That is the reason why I chose the most respected and feared enemies in the world, the samurai warriors. Now, what happens? These samurai warriors, they learn to respect their opponent. They accept the skills of the other person. That no matter even that I am a master, the other person is also a master. So they have very deep respect for their opponent. And they are a very honorable people. Before starting the duel only, they start to salute each other. That yes, although I am a good warrior, I'm a great warrior, but even you are also a great warrior, and I respect you for all your skills and all the practices you have been through and all the hardships you have been through. So I accept and I respect that. Okay. And they honor each other. There is a way of discipline between each other. They will not try to hit the other one below the belt. They will not try to hit the other one below the belt. They will maintain the decorum during the fight, the duel. And both of them have a passion for their skills. And both of them have a passion to get that 110% out of each other. Okay, I have to get 110% out of me to save myself, and the other person also has to get out the 110% out of himself to save himself. So both of them are passionate about it. Both of them have practiced throughout their life for this ultimate fight. And both of them, after the duel is ended, have huge respect for their opponent. Okay. So in my present life, when before coming here, when I'm choosing my partner, I choose my partner according to these references which I just gave you. The honor, the self-respect, the mutual respect, the discipline, the respect for each other's skills. Okay. The only thing is, yes, when I come down over here and I have locked my 96% of brain, just working with 4% of brain, then I say, and ruled by my belief systems on the ground, is where all this other incidents start happening. Now, what happens with nowadays? There are divorces and people having multiple partners. What is this thing about all this? So what happens is there also in my vibration light over there also, I have not had just one opponent. I may have had many opponents. I may have had to master many skills to win and survive. But the whole sum, or the whole answer of the whole having my opponents, is to one is better myself, and number two is put me as a priority. Okay, so I am choosing them so that down here I can learn the lesson to prioritize myself, because I have to practice daily and shine up my skills. That is why in this plane of earth, lot of times the spouse, between the spouse, the husband and wife, there are always a thing, oh, don't throw the towel over here, you should not behave like this, you should treat like this. But we have our own egos which come into play, and we say, no, you're always trying to criticize me, you're always trying to do like that. It is the way we take it over here, down here. Okay, imagine up there when you are fighting your samurai warrior opponent, you wouldn't tell him, no, you cannot hit like this, you have to practice more like that. There I would just be concentrating on myself. So the plan is, when I come over here with my worst opponent or my best opponent, I am trying to concentrate on myself. My opponent is going to help me make me the priority. My opponent is going to help me to make me discover the best in me. Okay, my opponent is going to teach me that lesson of self love, some way or the other. My opponent is going to help me to save myself. Okay, so this is what happens when we are choosing my life's partner over here. Then what are soulmates? What are soulmates who we choose as soulmates over here? Soulmates are those guides or those masters which we have left behind. Okay, so they come in my present life as soulmates. In front of my soulmates, I can express my weakest moments and my strongest points. So they become like my soulmates. And yes, a lot of times my spouse can also be my soulmate. Okay. And yes, like I already explained, that we can have multiple partners because we have had multiple duels. Every duel I have had with my opponent has helped me to shine some of my skills. And in why do we see so many divorce cases and so many multiple partner choices cases right now in our this world? This happens, or this is happening, because the souls which are coming now are more advanced than the souls which were coming before. That is the reason why we say, oh, nowadays people have less patience than what they used to have earlier. Correct? For example, nowadays we need a microwave in the kitchen to help things faster. We are not going to cook food on slow fire. We want things more faster. We want more convenience surrounding us. Why? Because every soul is deciding, if I have these kind of luxuries, I can concentrate more on my self growth, more on my personal growth. I want to have more challenges so I can advance faster. So that is why earlier on, where there was no complications in marriages and no complications in normal life, everything was more relaxed, everything, the world was going at a more slower pace. Now we have put it at a higher pace. Because every soul which is coming now says, I don't want to live 600, 700 lives to attain my spiritual growth, to attain my enlightenment. I don't have the time. I don't want to take so many births. That is the reason why, when is a common answer to a common question, I don't want to be born next time. I just want to attain, do whatever here. I don't want to go through this again. So the souls which are coming now are more advanced than the souls which were coming before. So they create more experiences, more multiple experiences, more repeated experiences. Before it used to be 14 years of a cycle. Now, then it became 7. Now it's even 2.5 years of cycle. Things are repeating more faster. The newer generation which is coming now, you see, in the middle age generation, we used to plan before coming, okay, our retirement age will be around 60, 65. After that, I will do the Tirth Yatra, or I will discover the world, or whatever. Now you see the new generation which is coming, they are becoming millionaires before they are 30. And after 30, they're planning the retirement, they're enjoying their life, because this is what is every soul's plan which comes on the planet. So the things now in this world, this earthly plane, they have put on a high timer. They are put on a very advanced level, very fast, faster than you and I could even think about in those days. That is the reason we keep on saying that nowadays the generation, oh, we used to never do this when we were 14, we used to never do this when we were 15, we used to never talk to our elders like this. They are more advanced, they are more fast in their things. They are moving faster than before. So that is the reason why when the newer generation is coming, they are choosing multiple partners, multiple marriages, multiple relationships, because they need to understand better and faster. They need to advance faster. So they are putting more challenges in front of them, which we in our study cases in those years could not even perceive that these things could happen. We see the souls which are coming now, their level of suffering has also gone very high. And at the same time, the level and options of recovery, like I was talking to Sarvesh before, there are so many options of healing and getting better and getting out of situation. There's so many options. It is they themselves which have already planned for it. It is not like olden times where there used to be only one master in the whole family or the whole village you could approach to, and he has his own methods. Take this mala, do this job, or do this havan, or whatever. Now there are multiple options, multiple modalities, because the challenges are also becoming difficult. And souls which are coming now are deciding to make their enlightenment process more faster. That is why we see nowadays and we experience nowadays multiple masters around us. And the level of difficulties also in our life, or level of challenges also in our life, we are putting it at a more higher level now. Okay. Sarvesh, are we doing good with the time, or should we start with the questions?
Sorry, you have enough time.
Okay,
No.
perfect. Okay. So there is one more point I would like to bring up is, besides these couples, the challenge of having children with disabilities, autisms, or any other challenges. No. So there are 3 points I would like to discuss, because nowadays we are having a lot of children in our lives which are very hyper. Okay. And this is a common complaint from the parents, that we are having children who he's very hyper, they cannot sit, they're very not calm, and things like that. And a lot of times, according to psychiatry, they are given medicines to make them feel more calm. So why are we having so many souls like this? So many souls which you can say, which are coming very agitated, or which very high level of energies. So these are the souls who have suffered lot of births with no advancements. Okay, in their previous births, they couldn't advance as fast as they had planned to, because of the choices they make. When I'm writing my contract over there, it's a huge detailed book. And in that detailed book, it's not just one contract. I have a lot of choices. I can keep on making choices. And those choices keep on changing my destination. Okay. But just imagine, I'm writing this book of my contract in the purest of my form. Okay. With the 100% of knowledge I have. My mind capacity is 100%. And when I'm coming here, I'm trying to understand this contract and work around it with just 4% capacity working. That is why the life looks very challenging. And that is the reason why I do not understand what is happening around me. And I look for answers. So these children have lost a lot of lifetimes not advancing. So when they come over here, they come with that hypersensitivity. They come very hyper, because in this life, they have put a lot of pressure on themselves. Okay, that is the one case where these, with parents with these kind of children. The second case is autistic children, or children who are disabled in wheelchairs and stuff like that. They cannot move. Now what are these souls, and why are we blessed with these souls? So a lot of times what happens is, during my lifetime, I get huge karmic debt. Huge karmic debts which are equivalent to big bank frauds, in our normal life terms. So how do we settle that? So either we decide to be born again and again and again with the same soul group, okay, and pay in installments. Okay, 7 lifetimes I will free my karmic debt with you. Or if the soul is very advanced and very powerful, it decides, okay, I am going to be born as a special child in your home. So this special child needs more attention and care, needs more hard work from the parents, needs more sacrifice from them. Okay. And in return, sometimes you do not get what a normal child would give you. So these souls are even more advanced. They are like, you can compare them to the souls of saints over here, which are self-sacrificing. So instead of wasting your and my 7 lifetimes, I decide to say, okay, in this lifetime, I'm going to settle all this great debt which you owe me in terms of karma. So that is why these kind of souls are born. Now, please understand this. The new generation which is being born now, are very highly efficient souls. And one mistake or one belief system which we have since a long time is treating the children or treating the child like a child, not giving attention to them, not hearing to them, not listening to them. So please understand this, that my children are more advanced souls than me myself. They have seen more lifetimes than me myself. So if you want to have good children in your home and raise them well, please listen to them and talk to them as adults, and not treating them like a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old or 11-year-old. Please treat them like adults and understand this, that there are more advanced souls than what I am. I'm sure most of us do know this fact, that till a child is 5 years of age, there are very, very good clairvoyants. Their clairvoyant, clairaudience capabilities are huge, and it comes naturally to them. Okay, so they have these invisible friends and stuff like that, because they are very, very advanced souls. They are very, very advanced. So please treat them like adults. Please see it as a blessing when you have a child like this in your home, that he has agreed to settle a huge debt. He has agreed to settle a huge debt, which I don't know how many lifetimes it would have taken me to pay. Okay. Let's start with the questions. Let's see what anybody has got any questions to ask.
Hi, Winnie. I'm Shonali.
Yeah, hi.
Winnie, I'm a mother of an autistic boy who's no more. So I would
Uh-huh.
like to ask you, what soul contract do children like these have? Because I have multiple friends who have children with cerebral palsy, with autism, with Down syndrome. So how do we make sense to these mothers? How do we make sense to these parents who are, just barely living, just barely surviving, and they take each day um, as a big burden on their living or existing on earth?
Yes, okay. So Sonali, like I was explaining, so this is a soul which has come into my life because I owed a huge debt to this soul. So either I take 3, 4, 7, 10, 12 lifetimes to settle this score, okay, or I go through such karmic curses which are unspeakable of. So this soul which is so strong decides, okay, let me be born as an autistic, as a child with Down syndrome, as somebody who's already 24/7 needs care. Okay, 24/7 needs care. And imagine that soul's journey, because each soul has to wait 500 years minimum, like I spoke last time, 500 years minimum to take a birth as a human. So that soul which has come into my life has sacrificed his 500 years, okay, to settle my account in a very nice and humble manner. Okay, in a very nice and humble manner. It could have been, like I said, it could have been a drastic karmic debt collection also. But that child decided, because it was of a soul of a higher vibration, so it decided that, okay, we will settle it in this manner. And the child is only there to observe, to see around. That is the only thing they do. They, most of the time, they cannot even react. Okay, we have to interpret their reactions. We have to find love in them. We have to find our peace of mind. We have to console ourselves. Okay, but these children have only come into my life because I owed lot of karmic debt to them, and they are like I said, they are great masters, which have again come to teach me that unconditional love. Okay, that high patience level I have to have with them. Okay, and they also teach me about the infinite possibilities of life. When I have a normal child, it has a normal schooling. I know it is going to grow, it is going to find a job, it is going to do this, it is going to do that. Correct? But when I have this kind of a child, every moment is a surprise or a shock for me. Okay, so this soul is also teaching me at the same, because these are great masters which come into our life. So they are teaching me the infinite possibilities of life. And that is why they come to me. We have never planned, we have never decided, we could never dream of having a child like this. But that is the thing which teaches me infinite possibilities. And every day I work more harder, take out that more percentage out of me. And most of the times it amazes the parents also. Oh, I could do this also, to make the life of my child, okay, with such special abilities, more comfortable. I could imagine doing this also. Okay, so these are the souls which teach us a lot. Great masters they are. So Sonali, I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, you have. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Vinny.
Hi,
My
Sangeeta.
name
Yeah,
is
hi.
Sangeeta. Couple of questions. One is, you mentioned souls with disabilities are settling old karmic debts between two individuals. So in that case, the mother, the father, and the child, right? So they're settling old karmic debts amongst each other. So
Yes.
that's why they take on that form of birth
Yes.
as autistic or whatever. What about normal kids, normal souls? They don't have
Okay.
any, you know what I mean?
Okay.
What are
Okay.
they? Yeah.
Not normal, fantastic beings, because
You
every
know what I
being is
mean.
individual. Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
that's my first question. And
Okay.
my second question, I actually have three questions, sorry. My second question was, you said talk to your kids like adults. Are you saying any kind of child or just a special, you know what I mean, like a special needs
Any kind
child?
of child,
Yeah.
every kind of child.
Okay. And then my last question was, what about two souls who owe each other tons of money?
Okay. Okay. I'll tell you that also. Okay.
Yeah.
So your first question. Okay. So even those normal children which come into our life, okay, we can call
Yeah.
them normal, but each being is very infinite and very different. So they come to our life also because I owe a huge karmic debt to them. Okay, not as huge as the ones who have autistic or other special abilities. So because you can see, I mean, I work hard for my kids, I will save up for their gifts, and I will go all the way out for their education, their life to be better. Okay, and even as a baby, if I am changing their diapers, it will not stink to me. Yeah. So who can get a person working 24/7, whether it's a father or the mother, free of charge? The only thing we get in back in return as parents is the tip. The tips what we leave in the restaurant when we after we eat is hugs and kisses. That's the only thing. Once they are big and grown up, they have their own journeys. Sometimes they move out of where you live, they don't visit you, they don't wish you, things like that happen. Correct? But when they have come to my family as a child, this is what I'm constantly doing for them. Okay, its only reason is because I owe huge karmic debt for them. Okay, and one more thing, since you brought up about these normal children, there can be couples who do not have children. Okay, so that doesn't mean, oh, I don't have any karmic debt. Okay, that doesn't mean that I don't have any karmic debt. They have decided not to have this experience in this life is because of other reasons. Okay, that does not mean that my debt chart is clear, or they can, the soul can decide that in this birth I do not wish to pay up like this. I wish to pay up in other manners. Okay, and there can be multiple reasons for couples because of their past life experiences or whatever, for not being able to bear children or not be wanting to bear children. Okay, so that's a different story altogether. Okay, I hope that that's good for you, Sangeeta.
Yeah, my last question was two souls.
Okay, yeah, the money part
One
of
owes
it.
the other, yeah, one owes the other a huge amount of money. How do you explain something like that? They're refusing to pay, or whatever.
Okay,
They've invested it, they've lost it, the money wasn't theirs to begin with. So how do you explain something like that?
okay, so see, like I said, when I come over here, only 4% of my abilities are working. So I do create a lot of things like that. But money over here and up there is a form of energy. Okay, that is why you see when people start getting more money or getting more rich, they start feeling more powerful. Okay, and power just comes to them. So money is a form of energy. If you have lost, okay, or if you have been cheated, then there is something wrong in my vibration. Okay, and that, yes, can be rectified. Okay, because over here money is a form of energy I deal in. Yes, I do come, lot of times I do come with that karmic theory, where if in my past lives I have cheated people, okay, or people have cheated me, and I have decided that in this birth I would disconnect or disassociate with money so that I can learn certain lessons better than before. Okay, so then that is a different plan altogether. Having said that, I have also given myself a power of choice. Like I said in the beginning, in all my contracts, I have a power of choice, which tells me if I increase my vibration, my destination can change. Okay.
So the person who's lost the money, you're saying their vibration is sort of not up to par. It's not where it should be.
Yes.
Their energy is,
Yes.
but if they
Yes.
increase that energy, that money will somehow come back to
Come
them.
back to them. Yes. 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 From where it comes, we don't know.
So,
It's
but this
not
is a
certain
vibe
whether.
from previous life, right, Vinny? This is something from past. This is another one of
Yes.
their karmic
This
accounts.
is something I have written in my contract, but I have also given myself an option to change it. Okay, that is why what we call is awareness. Okay, it's just like if I'm driving and I don't stop at the red light, I know I will be fine. Yes, I have that awareness. Okay, maybe once or twice I'll jump the red light, third time I'll get caught, but that doesn't mean I'll stop driving. Okay, and I can end up being a good driver, I can end up earning more points and stuff like that. Okay, so it's just like that. You can change your vibrations. Of course, there are a lot of means, modalities, ways to do it. And money it's like this. If you want a Mercedes for you, so what is that vibration that you can be? How you can be that vibration to attract that into your life? Okay, the rich get richer. The rich get richer not by making the poor suffer, but by increasing their vibration at all levels. Okay, because this is what they have learned, and this is their adrenaline. So this is what they have learned. So they go into that process. And money and love are two things, two energies, which you can never find, you can never get, no matter how hard you work for. When you're open to receiving it, love and money comes to you. These are two energies which always come to you. I have to be open to receiving it. How it comes, which way it comes, we don't know. And from where it comes also, we don't know. Okay.
Yep.
So you're good, Sangeeta?
Yeah, thank you, Vinny.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vinny Palak has a question for you. Can you please unmute and
Yeah.
Thank you, Ramesh. Palak it is. Thank
Palak,
you.
yeah. Palak, yeah.
Vinny, thank you. Thank you so much. A lovely call indeed.
Thank you.
In fact, when you said that whole thing about, the contracts with the kids and actually there is a saying in our this thing where they say that your biggest enemy comes as your kid, such that you run around them. Somebody who you owe the most will come back to you as a kid, such that you keep running around them.
Correct.
Is that so? I could also sense a contract when you said about parents and kids, wherein the kids have a contract with the parents about taking care of them and all of that, and it was like hitting me hard, where both my mother and my husband's father, they are both terminally ill, and they need that care, and in whatever form. So would you want to say something about that?
Okay, there are a lot of aspects of terminal illness. One is my own doings. Okay, what I do. Okay, and okay, one very good point, because she's brought, so I tell you something. See, nowadays, a lot of us, because of these things called WhatsApp and all the technology and everything, we guys are not expressing ourselves. See, there's a difference between talking and communicating. Talking is what I do from my mind. So I can talk and I can show you I'm a very happy person, I'm a very knowledgeable person, or I'm a very dumb person, or I'm a very stupid person, is because I'm doing the talking from here. Okay, communicating is what comes from my heart. Okay, and a lot of us have stopped communicating at all. That is the reason nowadays we see a lot of these diseases, especially in women, like thyroid, breast cancers, tumors, especially in their uterus area. Okay, because of lack of communication. Same goes for the men also. Okay, men are trying to act more tough and trying to shut more emotionally, and they also suffer. So if you stop communicating, if you're not expressing yourself, so this comes out as a disease which cannot be seen from outside. This comes out as a disease within my body. Okay, which I will not know of. I'll land up in the hospital and the doctor will say, oh, the last stage of breast cancer, last stage of this I see. Okay, so these convert into diseases. Why? Because I have not communicated, I have not thrown out this emotional garbage. So it is very important that we find ways and means to get this emotional garbage out. So please find practices to get this thing out. Don't let it stay in and suffer. Okay. Having said that, and coming back to Palak's question. So yes, Palak. So the parents do everything, owe us karmically and everything, but understand that we do not do that much for them. What is, because even if my mother is bedridden at 90, she will still be worried, oh, my son has eaten his food or not. Okay, so from zero in senses, from the time they had me, till their last time, they're always thinking about me. And what I am doing in return is, as being a good kid, as being a good child, a husband or wife or whatever, I'm just trying to take care of them. Because I know this is their last end of life and I need to do this. Because of social obligations, moral obligations, because of my belief systems, because what they have brought me to be, or what I have seen around me. Okay, so there is a big difference in both the issues. One is because I chose to be born in this family for the karmic debt. So till the end, they're always concerned about me. Okay, if the parents could decide, they would decide, okay, I would not die on a vacation of my son because he will lose his vacation. No, so let me die on some day which is convenient for him. Correct? Okay, they would even plan this, and they
Takes
I
a
should
choice.
not, and I should not go into hospital, so they have to come and see me and do this and do that. I should go nicely so they don't get into any trouble because of me.
True.
So you see the difference. That is the karmic debt. That is what is making me run, because I know, oh, I have to finish off this so that next time I'm rid of this karmic debt. So it's subconsciously, it is always there in me.
Got
Okay?
it.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Anybody else? Yes.
There are some people who've written some things. I hope it's okay. Let's check if any full volume is anything.
I can't see any questions.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead, Ankur.
So very one question, a lot of people don't even get married these days. Especially I see a lot of, young kids who, they don't want to get married at all.
Correct.
So what is their karmic decisions and
Okay. So they had a lot of duels. Okay. So that is the reason why I was telling you that in this life, in the coming generation wants to grow more faster. Okay, they want to advance more faster. Okay, it's not like us, my grandparents getting married, staying with one, learning their experience, going, okay, no, I have another lifetime to go, no problem. That is why it is embedded in, especially in our Indian society, that for 7 generations I'm going to get the same wife. So 7 generations I'm going to have the same experience. So I am already settled with that. But now the new generation doesn't want that. They want everything more fast. So that is why they say, okay, I can learn from multiple sources. I can learn from multiple people. Okay, same shift in consciousness. Like I said earlier on, one master for the whole village. Okay, or one master for the whole family. And everybody used to follow that. And now every person in this household has a different master, or can have multiple masters. Before they used to say, oh no, if you are following this cult, you cannot go to the other one. No, still we see those akhada systems when there is that mela in India. So there's a akhada system and they have fights within each other. No, my guru is more powerful than your master and things like that. So now everything is changing. Everybody is open to learning from different masters. Everybody is open to learning different things in life, experimenting. So the infinite being is coming into being. Okay, the infinite being is practicing what it has come here for. They say I can do a lot of things. The borders are almost disappearing day by day. Okay, so that is the reason they are deciding, instead of having one partner or two partner, oh, I don't want to have the partner. I don't want to have the responsibility of the children. Okay, because these beings have decided, okay, I can go through more tougher things. Okay, I don't want to take a responsibility. I can go through more tougher things, not taking responsibility, but understanding the one thing I've come here for is me, myself. there are more unique beings now which are seen open in public than before. Okay, people, the way they dress up, the way they want to show themselves, the way they want to do things, they are going ahead and doing it. Okay, and there is one very big way to notice it is that people, most of you must be seeing those or must be having or heard about those TikTok videos and things like that. People are getting very rich because of that, but people are ready to go and do anything on that. They're not shying away. Okay, they're not shying away from even making a fool of themselves in some people's eyes just to get there. So the infinite being is coming into reality. It is showing its true colors. It is showing itself that yes, I have that thing, and I can do what I want in life. Okay, so it is very amazing what the changes we are seeing right now, especially after 2012. Okay, so yes, I am sure most of you would agree that the whole universe has gone into a spin and into another frequency altogether. That is why we see changes is happening more faster than ever before. Okay. Yes, Saket. Sorry. Yeah, Ankur, I hope it's okay. Okay. Saket, yes, I do agree that 110% actually does not exist. But yeah, just to explain to people, I had to use that.
I
Yeah.
have a question. I have a question, and
Oh,
just
yes,
for
Saket, please.
my academic knowledge,
Yes.
more like a curiosity. And we all say that, including me, that now that we all want to, move away in the cycle or be faster on the path. So, is there any idea, like in terms of how many incarnations one does take, and when we are trying to, do work of couple of incarnations in one incarnation, so how much difference would that make? I know on a little bit confused I am, so I thought I'll ask you that. Did I make myself clear, or was I as confusing?
I think we're having the video seems stuck. We'll just wait for a signal to recover.
Okay. And
Your
we
question
have
your question was
we
close
have
to,
one more question from Shonali also.
yeah. I'm going to
Okay.
ask.
Okay. I think
No, I think he'll join back. Actually, his signal is quite weak.
that's fine. As long as we can always follow up with him, so that's not an issue.
The one common thing I can understand is that means yes, karma does exist in all faiths.
Yeah, it always did that. I guess there was different way of expressing in different religions, different spiritualities, or the balance has to be maintained. So it's more like a universal law which exists. So,
True.
and of course, it works in accordance with so many other laws. So you just can't, like, when something is flying, it's just not the gravity, it's all the aerodynamics also. There are a couple of other physical laws that applies on it, and all combined would make an object fly. So a life is not just implication of karma. There are several other universal laws which apply to it, and it's a
Right.
whole
Okay.
combination.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think
guys, I got shut off. I'm back again. Saket, you were asking something.
But I think there was a question asked before me. There was a question asked by Sonali, that what about young children who pass away early? Are they clearing karma?
Okay. So that was your question, and there was something else you were asking about how many lifetimes, no? Then I got
That was Sonali's question. My question was that typically, we all try to accelerate, and we would love to. Who would not?
Yes.
The reincarnations.
Yes.
So typically, how much can we accelerate? You know, let's say 10%, 20% out of whatever number of lives that we have to come
Okay.
here. So any estimate how many times we have to incarnate here?
Okay.
And
Okay.
how much can we accelerate? I know very basic question, but I know I'm as intrigued as I think couple of us here who wants to know kitni jaldi over ho jayega.
Yes, I guess we all want to know that. Okay, so Saket, very interesting question. Thank you very much for asking that. Okay, so the thing is, there is, and the answer is as interesting as the question is. Lot of times, when we do get enlightened, okay, an enlightenment can happen like this, like in the great Gita of Ashtavakra, no, I think so. I'm pronouncing the name right. It's written. He asked Dashrath how much time it takes me to get enlightened, and then Dashrath says, as much time as you can sit on a horse. Okay, so it actually in any lifetime it can happen to us. Okay, so we have to be prepared. Now, do I come back or don't I come back? Is again when I'm in the purest form of that vibration is my choice. Do I go and get connected back to my source? Or most of the times, these enlightened souls don't want to rest. They say, I want to come back as a master. And they say that I want to help the others reach there. So they either take forms of guides or they either actually come as masters. And they say, yes, I want to take this generation more ahead. I want to teach them. And we are not talking about conventional masters who are robed into orange color or white color or whatever. No, I'm not talking about these conventional masters. They come in very different form of masters. Okay. And they try to help uprise a lot of people, get them out of their, what you can call, their karmic circle. So yes, how many lifetimes? It can happen in any lifetime. It can happen in any lifetime. There is no such thing that in this lifetime or after 10 lifetimes I will get this thing. It can happen in any lifetime at any moment in your life. Okay. And yes, do I come back after that or don't I come back after that? That depends on each individual when we are there in the purest form, what I decide to do. And most of the times we do decide to come back because we enjoy the journey. Because we enjoy the journey. So we do decide to come back in one form or the other as a human being only to help others rise faster. Okay. I hope I've answered this part of your question, Saket.
Thank you. Definitely. I was looking at another opinion, in fact.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
I think we have a question from Sri Sudha. Can you
Yeah.
please unmute
Yes,
it?
yes, please.
Please unmute.
Yeah, am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Vinny, you said kids are advanced souls. Does that mean we as parents should not discipline them by being strict or correcting them when they are doing something wrong or making rules? Because nowadays kids are very bossy.
Okay.
So how to go about this on the plane of earth? Because as per your thing, kids are advanced souls, they are here to teach us. But if we are not being strict with the kid, people are, it's said like we are spoiling the kids and, they get spoiled and all. So
Okay.
there are two different opinions coming here. So how to
Okay.
go about?
Correct. I'll tell you what. So first of all, the kids, my children have decided that they are going to be born for this kind of parents. Okay, so that they have decided already. They already know, okay, I'm going to have these kind of parents who are going to be strict with me or who are going to be like this with me, who are going to be like that with me. Okay. Now, and they have created me because they need that taking care, they need that discipline. Otherwise, who's going to teach them to do their brush in the morning? Okay, to eat their breakfast, to do this. So everything I have to teach them. It is my job. Otherwise, how am I going to pay off my karmic debt? Okay, so I have to teach them everything. I have to teach them what is the importance of discipline in my life. Okay, what is the importance of discipline in my life? And for that, I have to also be disciplined myself. Correct? I cannot say to my kids, you go sleep because I am watching a late night movie. Okay, because I am an adult, so I need to watch a late night movie. You go sleep and I will sleep only 3 hours, or I will sleep only 4 hours. Then the kid is learning that. So discipline comes in what I do. And there is also one very good thing about discipline, because a lot of people ask me when I teach them meditation or things like that. So they say, the first question is, what time should I do it? And a lot of masters say, oh, early in the morning is the best time to do it. So you get up early in the morning. And I get up early in the morning for 3-4 days, and then I say it's too tough, I'm not going to do it. So the first discipline in my life should be that I should be hooked to doing something regularly. What time, it does not matter. That is the second process. Okay, and how much time also is another level. How much I love myself, I'll meditate more. Okay, so coming back to your question, so I need to treat them unlike adults also signifies that they also should listen like adults, correct? It does not mean that instead of a hot warm glass of milk, I tell them, no, you can come and sit and have a drink with me. Okay, so if I am trying to teach them something like adults, they should also be learning like adults. Okay, that is something which is a mutual respect which we develop. If my child is trying to express himself and I say I don't want to listen to it, or if trying to spend time with my child means just watching the latest movie, that's a waste of time, because these 2.5-3 hours I could speak to him, I could know and help him and help myself discover the vast knowledge he's storing inside himself. Correct? So they are coming with greater intelligence nowadays. Okay, the man who made Facebook, he was an intelligent child, correct? But his father was not able to make Facebook. We don't even know who his father was. Okay, so where is the intelligence? Intelligence is in the next generation. We need to learn to recognize that. And we need to be that soil where they can grow. We need to have our homes a safe zone for them, where they can express themselves. Okay, so if we are trying to treat them as adults, then they should be listening as adults also. Okay, yeah, I hope I answered your question. Okay, Sarvesh.
Yeah, I think we have far exceeded the timeline. We need thank
Okay.
you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
It was an excellent session, and
Thank you very much.
looking forward to some more insights in the future. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All the
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming
attending
here.
the webinar. And
Yes.
yeah, see you soon.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you for coming here and giving such a good response. And hope to see you guys again soon